For 40 years, he carried a letter he never dared to open. Everyone thought he had been abandoned, but the truth was locked inside an envelope, unread, unseen, and waiting to change everything. When a curious young girl finally convinces him to break the seal, what he discovers will rewrite his entire past and give him a second chance at a love he thought was lost forever. The town had many familiar sights: children laughing on playgrounds, street musicians filling the air with melody, and old friends sharing quiet conversations at the cafe. But nothing was as constant as Mr. Dawson, the old man who sat alone on the park bench, feeding pigeons with a faraway look in his eyes. Every afternoon, he arrived at exactly 3 p.m., a brown satchel slung over his shoulder, a small paper bag filled with crumbs in his hands. He barely spoke to anyone, only nodding politely if someone greeted him. But the one thing that never changed was the old yellowed envelope he carried in his coat pocket, a letter he never read. Lily, a curious 12-year-old girl with an adventurous spirit, had noticed him for weeks. Unlike the others who simply ignored him, she found herself wondering, why did he always carry that letter? One day, she decided to find out. "Hello," Lily chirped, plopping onto the bench beside Mr. Dawson. The old man looked up, startled. Most people didn't bother talking to him. "Hello," he replied cautiously. Lily swung her legs back and forth. "Why do you always sit here alone?" He hesitated before answering. "I like the quiet." She watched as he tossed crumbs to the pigeons, his hand steady despite his age. But then her eyes locked onto the letter peeking out of his coat pocket. "What's that?" she asked, pointing. Mr. Dawson's expression changed instantly. He tucked the letter deeper into his pocket, his jaw tightening. "Nothing." Lily wasn't convinced. "It doesn't look like nothing." The old man sighed. "It's just an old letter." "Then why don't you read it?" she pressed. For the first time, his eyes met hers, deep, tired, and filled with years of something unspoken. He shook his head. "Because sometimes, knowing the truth is harder than living without it." Lily frowned but said nothing. She could tell this letter meant more than he was letting on. Determined to uncover the mystery, Lily started asking around town. At the local bakery, an elderly woman named Mrs. Collins hesitated before answering. "Ah, Dawson. I remember when he was young. He was in love once with a girl named Eleanor." Lily's eyes widened. "What happened to her?" Mrs. Collins sighed. "She left town suddenly, broke his heart. He never moved on." Lily frowned. Something didn't add up. If Eleanor had truly left him, why did he keep that letter all these years? Her next stop was the town's small library. The librarian, Mr. Humphrey, remembered Eleanor too. "She never meant to leave," he whispered. "That letter, it's from her, but Dawson never read it." Lily's heart pounded. If Eleanor never meant to leave, then what was in that letter? The next day, Lily found Mr. Dawson in the park again. "Did Eleanor really leave you?" she asked, her voice firm. Mr. Dawson froze. No one had said that name in decades. "I found out the letter is from her," Lily continued. "You've been carrying it for years, but you've never read it. Why?" The old man swallowed hard. "Because I already know what it says." Lily crossed her arms. "Do you?" He looked away. "She left, that's all I need to know." "But what if she didn't?" Lily challenged. "What if the truth is different from what you've believed all these years?" For the first time, doubt flickered in Mr. Dawson's tired eyes. His fingers trembled as he pulled the letter from his pocket. The envelope was fragile, the ink on the front faded but still legible. "To my dearest Dawson." Lily watched as he slowly opened it. The paper was delicate, nearly crumbling in his hands. He took a deep breath and began to read. "My love, I never wanted to leave you. My father forbade our love and sent me away. I fought to come back, but by the time I returned, you were gone. I searched for you everywhere. Did you think I abandoned you? Please, If you ever read this, know that I loved you then, and I love you still. Forever. Yours. The letter shook in his hands. His breath hitched, and for the first time in years, tears slipped down his weathered face. She never left him. She had been searching for him just as he had been mourning her. A lifetime of grief built on a misunderstanding. Lily didn't know what to say. For the first time, the lonely man in the park looked truly vulnerable. She never left me, he whispered. Lily placed a gentle hand on his. Maybe it's not too late to find out more. With her help, Mr. Dawson searched for Eleanor. At first, there were only dead ends, but then a breakthrough. Eleanor was alive. She lived in a small town just 2 hours away. A week later, Dawson stood outside a modest little house, clutching the letter that had changed his world. When the door opened and he saw her, older, but still the Eleanor he had loved, he realized something. Love doesn't fade, even after all these years. Tears welled in Eleanor's eyes as she whispered his name. And at that moment, for the first time in decades, Dawson smiled. A real, unguarded smile. Because some love stories never truly end.